What's up, guys? I'm here with the squad right here. Evie, Mason,
Mariah,
Jacob.
Jocelyn.
and today we're gonna be talking about what is love and what it means to us. So we'll go ahead and start with Evie, and work our way down.
Well, love to me, there's two different kinds of love. There's the world's love and there's the Jesus love. In John 3:16 it says, "For God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, that whosoever believeth in him shall not perish but have everlasting love." And that's the one true love. And usually people are like, well, love is not real and love is this and love is that. It's because the one true love they haven't had the experience of the one true love. We're always trying to look for love in all the wrong places, and so there's times where we have to get to a place is I want to know this one true love, because we think that the person next to us loves us, but in reality there's a string attached to love in the world. But in Jesus' love there isn't no attachment. For God so loved the world that whosoever, who's the whosoever? We're the whosoever. He loved us that much that he sent his Son on this earth to die. Love to me is Jesus in my form, so that you could see and experience Jesus today. And Jesus is right now doing something on the inside of you. So if you're watching this today, in what I feel that the Spirit is leading is that there is a love you're looking for. And you've been looking all around, but you haven't looked up. And Jesus says, look up, because I'm standing right in front of you. So that's love to me.
I don't even know how I'm going to be able to speak after that. And we still have 5 more people to go. But, and this is an awesome woman of God. I want to just let everyone know that she is amazing. She's encouraging, and I mean, she is becoming the example of love. And that's the thing I wanted to talk about, is becoming the example of love. And what love to me is if you don't know who Jesus is, that's the first thing she already talked about, and that is John 3:16. That's, the Father giving his Son for us. That's how much we're worth to him. And if you do know who Jesus is, then it's about being that example of love, that we know we can go into a dark place, and because God, there is no difference between dark and light. We are the light already. And so whenever we walk into a dark place, we can bring that love, we can bring that light to this place, and to fill it with love, with hope and with joy. And all this becomes, oh, that's awesome. And there's a rain of love above us right now. And so I just want to continue to say that because of the Father, because of him giving his Son and making a way for us and becoming love, that Jesus became love, now we can become love, because we can become just like Jesus. And I don't even, like I said, I don't know really how to follow up much more of what Evie said, because John 3:16 is I know for sure what she lives by, what I live by, and what everyone on the stage lives by. And it's knowing that God saved us from something, and that's love in itself. He is love. There's no way to go higher than what he is, because he's already loved. He's already done it. He's already the example. So that way we can become it too.
Amen.
Well, for me, love, one thing that I try to do is I desire to love everybody. Anybody that I come into contact with, I want to love them. I want to leave them feeling like someone has, loved them. Like, I don't know what else to say, but one way that I want to show it, or that I feel it, is that I desire for their souls to be saved. Like, when I see someone, I think, like, I want this person to find Jesus. I want them to accept him, so that their souls will be saved, that they would be able to go to heaven. And that is one way that I feel like I truly want to love everybody, and I want to be able to spread Jesus with everybody, so that they would not go to hell, like, basically. Like, I don't want anyone to go to hell. I want everyone to find Jesus and to feel his presence, the true love that he has for us, and to be in heaven with him for the rest of their lives, for eternity.
Yeah, I definitely second that, only because I know that 5 years ago I was on my way to hell. And we're not, no, first of all, get this straight, that we're not fire and brimstone type of people. We don't, we're not the ones that would force hell down anybody's throat, but what we do believe is that it's a real place. Just like we believe heaven is real, and we believe that both of them are eternities. And I'm gonna knock this thing that you believe, this misconception that, well, if God is so good, why did he create hell? First of all, hell was never ever created for us. Hell was created for the devil and his demons. That's all it was created for. And it's never ever God that sends anybody to hell. And I simply believe that he's going to separate the wheat from the chaff. He's going to separate the sheep from the goats. And I'm telling you that I was one of them goats. I was one of them people who would categorize myself in the chaff category. I was lost, and I was lonely, and I was hurt. I'm about to turn 20 now, but at the age of 14, I was feeling all of those emotions. And I came to this place one night after being lost, and after constantly constantly indulging myself in drugs, and indulging myself in a kind of a sucky lifestyle, because I was just so negative. I was so negative towards people. I didn't care about anybody. My attitude was F you. One of my favorite slogans was one deep, and I'm sure you've heard it. But that was my motto. That's what I lived by, and so that's how I treated people. I was constantly smoking, and I would drink occasionally, and one night I was invited to this place, and I'll never forget it, because that night the presence of God covered me. And as it covered me, Jesus himself said that he was there hugging me. First of all, if you knew anything about my life, all my life, my whole family, father-son relationship was just kind of unstable all my life. So basically I would say that I grew up without a stable father-son relationship. Dad died when I was 8, and I could tell you my whole story. But basically, all I knew is I was looking for love. I was looking for it in all the wrong places, just like Evie mentioned. I was looking for it in marijuana. I was looking for it in drinking. I was looking for it in girls. And I was looking for it all the wrong things. And I never found it. And what I did find was temporary pleasure that I thought was love. I thought it was love because I loved it. But that was completely wrong, and that was completely twisted. And that's probably what you know love is today. To you, love may be, I love you so that you could give me that. Or they love you so that you could give them something. But that's not what love is. That's not what Jesus is. And that's not the point that we're trying to make tonight. We're trying to make the point that we're trying to make is that Jesus gave his life.
Yeah.
Because he loved.
Yeah.
And so that's what love is to me. That Jesus gave his life, and that's all it'll ever be to me. So for me, to answer your question, what is love? To answer the question, what is love? Jesus giving his life. And so what does that look like? Why should that change how I live? It's because the Word of God says is that we should imitate that. We should imitate that to the world. And you might say, well, you're supposed to be like Jesus. You think you can be like Jesus? Simple as this. He called me to. He called me to. And I know that if you have any questions, you can ask them in the description box, however you want to do it. And we'll be there to answer your questions. But that's what love is to me, that he gave his life. That's good.
So I guess I can just testify to my experience with love before I came to Christ. And the way I experienced that worldly love was that I love you if you do this for me, or you love me because you bought me this. So that was my idea of love before I came to Christ. And before I came to Christ, I was a really jealous person. I was bitter. But the moment that because the way I experienced God was in different moments, and I would just dig in the Word, and that's how I came to know God, out of curiosity for the Word. And so when before I came to Christ, I knew that, Jesus died on the cross for me, but I didn't know the meaning behind it. And so when I came to Christ, it honestly blew my mind that someone would carry this heavy cross, and then on top of carrying that cross, he would have nails in his hands and in his legs, and that he would have this crown of thorns, just, all that blood just coming down his body. And to me, if you've ever watched The Passion of the Christ, man, dude, that movie will make you cry. And the fact that, this man, the Son of Man, would just be so obedient to the Lord, and to just die for the entire world in obedience to him, that to me is love. That, I don't know anyone in this world that would do that for me. And the fact that this man went on that cross and did that for me, that to me, that broke me right then and there. I knew that my entire 20 years of life, I had been missing that love that I was so looking for in alcohol, in even fitness, other guys, to fill those voids. And when I finally came to know Christ, I knew the meaning of love, and to me, Jesus is love.
And I definitely agree with everyone, what they just said, man, and it's really hard to follow up with all that. But I'm just going to keep mine really short. What I think love is basically Jesus, and the unconditional love he has for us. No matter what we do, where we go, it's not going to change his love for us, and he's always going to love us. So throughout my flaws and my mistakes, it doesn't change the way he sees me, and he sees me as perfect, and that's the way he presents me.
Yeah.
Is perfect. And that's the way I want to show that Christ love, to where you might have flaws and you're gonna mess up, but I'm not gonna see that. You're still gonna be what Jesus says you are. That's perfect, and that's that unconditional love. And I think it's until we reach the point to where we actually know the Father and know the love of Jesus, then we'll reach that point of actually knowing love and understanding love and being able to manifest the love of Christ. And basically, yeah, that's what love is to me. So yeah, I just want to thank all these guys for and girls for sharing their definition of love, and hopefully that it helped y'all, and y'all can learn something from this. And if y'all have any questions at all, feel free to leave a comment. And yeah, so
Yeah,
thank y'all guys.
Jesus.
So I heard you want to know about love. That's the last thing we said.
Oh man, low storage.
That's all. Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
I was gonna say,